This is our 2002 BMW 330i, and it's been in our family for 4 years. So what's it like to live with? What about reliability and cost of ownership? Are they as unreliable as people say? Well, strap yourselves in and let's go find out. So as been mentioned before, the car's a silky smooth 3-litre 6-cylinder engine. It's absolutely gorgeous on the road. It's still rattle free, you know, it drives like a new car. It feels what I'd call tight. This one's only done 130,000 k. The exterior has dated well too, testament to its design and being well looked after. On the open road, it's still a great experience. It turns corners so well, it feels so planted, and that 6-cylinder engine is surprisingly smooth and powerful. The 5-speed auto transmission is still so smooth, changes are almost imperceptible. After 4 years of ownership, it's still a great car and still all about the driving experience. I want to cover off safety. Now, I can tell you these have a fantastic safety system in the car. They have anti-lock braking and all that kind of stuff, and they also have a brilliant car control system as well. Now, I've actually had experience of that firsthand. I was driving with my lovely wifey. We were going over to Palmerston North. We turned off to a narrow country road, and there were 2 cars that had been dawdling for ages. I wanted to get past one of them. So I started to pass this guy. Now, this is a narrow country road with grass verges, very overgrown grass verges on either side, and it was raining heavily. I got 3/4 of the way past this car when it decided to pass the car in front of him. That was rather exciting. The only thing I had, I could either hit the brakes or I could keep accelerating and swerve off the road and back in again to miss this car, and that's what I did. So I swerved the car off onto the grass verge, so I was nearly all the way on the grass verge at around 110 kilometres an hour and back in again. The car did a very slight sideways and then it literally pulled and straightened itself up, and I kept the car completely under control. I know that if I'd have been in any other car, I would have spun. I would have spun and I would have hit the car that I was passing. That car in turn would have hit the car that it was passing. And I have no doubt in my mind that it was the safety control measures in the car that saved me, not my good driving, I'll tell you that right now. So what's the common issues with this model of car? And what's it like on fuel? Currently I'm getting 10.2 litres per 100 k's, which is nearly 30 miles per gallon. And the quirks of this model, with where the rubber coating on the centre console can peel. Luckily these are the same colour underneath, and replacements are plentiful and cheap. In hotter climates, the roof lining can become loose and baggy, and the sunshade sliders can break. Luckily none of that detracts from the driving experience. So after 4 years of ownership, what's actually happened? Okay, very little's gone wrong, to be honest. We've had one battery that's failed. Now that battery was expensive, because it's big, because of the complexity of the car. Of course, it's the size of a truck battery, so it cost a little bit more than a standard car battery would, because most of the other cars have babies. And it's had 2 new tyres, which you'd expect, and we've had the normal servicing and oil. That's it. I can only tell you from my own perspective, you know, this car has been almost completely trouble-free. I think we've got to remind ourselves that this isn't a standard Japanese built for the masses economy car. This was built as a premium sports sedan. So this car has more complexity and more electronics. So conceivably, there's more things to go wrong, and I agree, there is. But I think you can hedge some of that risk by really doing your homework when you go and buy one of these cars. Make sure it's been well serviced and well looked after, because I think if you've got a well serviced and well looked after BMW, it will look after you. These are an absolute bargain because of what they give you, you know, the driving experience and all that sort of stuff. You know, a Japanese car is fit for purpose, it's great for what it does, it's reliable, cheap to run, cheap to maintain. These cars are a premium car. They're cheaper to buy because they're perceived as being expensive money pits. I tell you, they just ain't. If you're careful about what you're buying and you get something that's been well serviced and you're prepared to either do the servicing yourself or find a really good reputable person that can do the servicing for you, you've got an absolute bargain. You've got something that's beautiful to drive. It's more than just a car, it's a driving experience. And that's what I love about these things. Okay, cue the sad music. Sadly, our beautiful BMW is up for sale. My daughter who owns it is moving to the city and has nowhere to park it. So we're looking for someone who will look after it and enjoy it just as we have. Come on, you jolly kid. Let's go. I want to get it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on, really?
That's not good for the tires.